Tonight, no spectators. A popular rodeo to the north that normally draws thousands is instead filled with protesters. We'll tell you why. And mining returns. After being idled for months, a major mine is set to begin operations again on the range. Plus, millions of Americans are going to lose extra unemployment benefits this week. What Congress is doing to help those impacted by COVID-19.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Mack. Kristen is on assignment. Thanks for joining us. This weekend, millions of Americans will lose the extra $600 unemployment benefit they've been getting since the early days of the pandemic. But tonight, the White House and Senate Republicans still haven't come up with a plan to extend those benefits. Here's CBS's Nancy Cordes.
As 30 million Americans waited for a lifeline today, this is what the U.S. Senate looked like. Empty.
The suffering starts in 2 days.
Emergency federal jobless benefits, $600 per person per week, are about to expire.
And it makes it pretty hard to pay for a $1,200 apartment.
Chris Levy is an audio technician in Orlando and has a 6-year-old daughter. But his unemployment check is about to drop to $275 a week.
I lost my job by no fault of my own due to the pandemic, and now I kind of have seems like no backing.
House Democrats passed a bill 2 months ago to extend the $600 payments through January. But Senate Republicans are still finalizing their proposal, which they say will prevent anyone from making more on unemployment than they did at work.
The administration has requested additional time to review the fine details.
Republicans are derelict in their duty.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi warned today there is no plan B.
Are you considering extending these benefits for a month or two while you continue to negotiate?
No. You understand, no.
What should people who are at home wondering how they're going to afford their groceries next week? That's the bill.
Republicans say they'll introduce their plan Monday, but the negotiations could take weeks. If there's a lapse, Congress could authorize retroactive benefits. New at 10, there's growing frustration over messes being made at Boundary Water campsites. Here's some of what the Forest Service has been posting on its Superior National Forest Facebook page. Pictures of trash being left behind and trees being cut down and used for firewood. The Forest Service says, well, it's nice that more people are enjoying the great outdoors during the pandemic. It's disappointing seeing the mess and damage. A reminder, it's illegal to cut live trees and plants for firewood, and if you pack it into camp, make sure you pack it out. And Dave's here for a look at the weather. Dave, pretty nice evening out there. A little cool, though, I might say.
A little cool here by the lake, perhaps, but it was a toasty day around the region as a warm front brought back the heat wave. A couple of days with a cooler than normal has now gone away and eyeing up the high temps. You know, it was cooler than normal by the lake here in the Twin Ports. Top temp 68 degrees. That's probably what fooled Tony, but it was 88 Hibbing, 90 International Falls, or in Big Fork, 86 degrees for Hayward. Dew points were up too, so hot and humid, perfect fuel for storms, and that low pressure system to our west is still slated to come through our area. After midnight tonight, it's a 20% chance for showers and storms, but the bigger chance, 70% shot, comes around tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. And again, some storms could be severe. And for east central Minnesota, the head of the lakes, Wisconsin and Michigan, the rain could be heavy. And so the major threat coming around probably will be more flash flooding than anything else. There we go. Getting into Sunday, it starts to end. By afternoon, the 40% rain chance goes away and nicer weather comes. I'll talk about how long that's going to last in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. New at 10, the state of Minnesota handed out loans to more than 1,000 small businesses across the state, helping them survive the pandemic. The loans totaled a little more than $27 million. About half of that went to businesses in the Twin Cities. Businesses in St. Louis County received $2.2 million. Itasca and Aitkin counties got around $200,000, and Couchiching and Lake counties around $100,000. The grants ranged in size from $5,000 to $35,000. They went to restaurants, bars, and any other small businesses hit by the pandemic. 650 workers are preparing to get back on the job at Hibbing Taconite after months of being laid off due to the pandemic. A big part of restarting production involves taking necessary precautions to make sure employees stay safe and working to prevent an outbreak of the coronavirus within the mining facility. United Steelworkers Local 2705 Union President Chris Johnson has been working with HIBTAC management to put proper protocols in place as union members return to work. That includes following all CDC and state guidelines, staggering start and break times, extra cleaning, limiting the number of people in vehicles, and ensuring social distancing is possible throughout the facility. In a statement to CBS3, he said, quote, "We are preparing for the possibility of a positive case, but hoping we can make it through this without. We are all hopeful that there is no spike in our nation that will affect the industry anymore." The first week back, Hibbing Taconite will be ramping up for the first pellets coming out by Sunday of next week. HIBTAC was not the only mine to idle during the pandemic. U.S. Steel's Keetac is still idled with 375 people laid off. Another U.S. Steel mine, Mintac, is almost back to full capacity. 38 employees there are still on a voluntary layoff. 6 others on involuntary layoffs will go back to work Monday. We did reach out to Cliffs to learn when they plan to bring the more than 400 workers who were laid off from the North Shore mine in April. We have yet to hear back. Congressman Pete Stauber is attacking a proposed bill that could spell trouble for Twin Metals and other Iron Range mines looking to expand. Congresswoman Betty McCollum, a Democrat representing the Twin Cities area in the U.S. House, is leading the legislation. It includes nearly $37 billion in federal funding for environmental protections, the Great Lakes, drinking water initiatives, and more. But it also says none of that money can be used to review or approve any mine plan proposed for the Superior National Forest or the Rainy River watershed. That would directly impact Twin Metals, which is working on getting permits for an underground copper-nickel mine near the Boundary Waters. Stauber, a Republican representing the Iron Range, says it could also impact operations at the Mintac, Minorca, and North Shore mines, which he says employs nearly 2,000 union workers.
These blue-collar jobs support families in my district, jobs we need, especially during this pandemic.
In a statement, McCollum slammed President Donald Trump and his administration for what she called fast-tracking mine projects near the BWCA at every opportunity. She added it's our obligation to make sure decisions about public lands are based on science. We heard from Twin Metals today in response to the bill. Company reps say the legislation would be devastating to Minnesota's economic future. They say the proposed mine supports 750 full-time jobs and another 1,500 spin-off ones while protecting the environment. They also feel the legislation ignores today's urgent need for metals. A big rodeo that draws thousands to the region is kicking up a lot of controversy tonight. Every year, the North Star Stampede draws a pretty big crowd to the town of Effie, Minnesota each year. After last-minute changes to the number of people who could attend, rodeo fans are frustrated. CBS3's Kendall Jarbo explains the reasons some decided to protest.
The owner of the North Star Stampede says even though he was told to limit the number of people at the rodeo, he's not stopping anyone from entering. In fact, he's waiving the admission fee. Owner Cimarron Pitson says he worked with the Itasca County Sheriff's Office to hold the rodeo while taking precautions against COVID-19. He planned for social distancing and cleaning. The stadium normally holds 3,000 people, but state COVID guidelines say only 530 people can be inside. Then Pitson says the Minnesota Department of Health and the Attorney General's office told him only 132 fans could attend. Pitson posted on Facebook Wednesday saying there will be no spectators at the rodeo, but welcomed protesters instead.
I'm putting the rodeo on down here. There's people coming here to protest this ridiculous government overreach, and they're all on their own. I'm not going to stand in their way. Everyone here has the right to assemble, and they have a right to voice their opinion.
Pitson says the low occupancy limit was not enough to pay the bills anyway, so he waived the admission fee altogether, saying it's too late to turn back now. His Facebook post gained almost 600 shares. One protester says there's more than COVID-19 to be concerned about.
There's a lot worse things to happen, and one of them is losing your constitutional rights rather than getting the flu. And that's what I worry about, the Constitution.
In a statement Thursday, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison said stopping the spread of COVID-19 is everyone's responsibility, and his office is working with events to keep Minnesotans safe. Even though Pitson says he has nothing to do with the protesters, he is grateful for the support. The rodeo kicked off today at 5 o'clock and runs through Sunday.
All right, thanks, Kendall. Flags all across Wisconsin will fly at half-staff tomorrow, honoring a Superior soldier killed during the Korean War. Corporal Francis Roshan, or Sonny, will finally be laid to rest Saturday. He was reported missing in action in 1950. His family spent the next 70 years searching for answers. Then about a month ago, Roshan's sisters got the call they'd been waiting for. DNA testing had identified their brother's remains. Now Roshan will be buried with full military honors at Summit Cemetery in Foxborough tomorrow. We'll have the full story tomorrow night on the CBS 3 News at 6 and 10. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, high school sports have been given the green light to return in Wisconsin. How it's going to be done safely, coming up.
For the month of July, we're about 2 inches more than normal for rainfall, and perhaps another inch could come tomorrow afternoon and evening when that storm system rumbles its way into our region. We'll show you the latest chart on how much rain could fall coming up next.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 10 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
The U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame Museum in Eveleth is America's hockey showplace to preserve history and honor the legends of the game. Tour their collection of memorabilia, video displays, and interactive exhibits honoring this game we love. Plan your visit today.
This thing is really dusty.
Helping to make memories for generations. Numi Jewelers.
When news happens, CBS 3 is there. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news.
Anytime, day or night, more cases of the coronavirus are popping up across the Northland.
The only confirmed cases in northeastern Minnesota.
Do not go shopping today unless you absolutely must. Do not collect any supplies or equipment unless you absolutely need it today.
The Northland has seen its first coronavirus-related death.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, tune to CBS 3.
Duluth's downtown waterfront district is the heart of our community. So many of the things we love about Duluth can be found right here, from businesses to attractions. And now, most of them are open and working hard so you can safely enjoy them. Our local restaurants, breweries, shops, salons, and attractions help weave the unique fabric of our community. They make us stand out. And when you support them, your dollars stay in our community, helping to boost our economy. Show your love for Duluth's local businesses. We can't wait to see you.
Every second of every day, it happens. Something big, something worth talking about. News happens, and you can't wait for it. You need to be constantly digging, asking, hunting, wanting more. More truth, more real answers. More who, what, where, when, and why. And it's about you. It's about now. It's about wherever, whenever. At Live Local CBS 3, it's about the news. Your neighborhood news.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS 3.
Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
It was a beautiful evening on Lake Vermilion. Here's 36 Island on Fraser Bay. This picture comes courtesy of Peter Makowski. Folks who listen to WEVE probably knew him as Peter Mack back in the day. Well, nice right now, but it's the calm before the storm. And if you're from this neck of the woods, you know that storm systems come in from the northwest, so roughly from right over here, and then they come across the bay and strike the south shore, and you get the thunder boomers coming across, and that just may start to happen up north after midnight here tonight. 20% chance for overnight rain, building up to a 70% chance by tomorrow afternoon, which could include some severe weather, which we'll talk about after we take a look at the current conditions coming in from the airport in Duluth. It's 70 degrees there right now. Relative humidity is at 81%, so it's going to be warm and humid this weekend. Fuel for thunderstorms. Southeasterly winds going 3 miles per hour. 29.93 inches of mercury is the barometric pressure. That's still a little bit on the high side, but it'll go down as the low pressure system we've been watching for days takes over our region later on tonight and through perhaps Sunday morning towards noon or so. Current temps in the Upper Peninsula are in the low to even upper 70s here, so it's a warm night. Upper 70s still for many places in Wisconsin. But Anthony mentioned a little while ago it felt pretty chilly here by the lake today. And yeah, Superior's bearing that out right now with a reading of 62. But these little pockets of resistance of cool weather by the lake will be overwhelmed perhaps over the weekend as temperatures do try to run the range of 85 to even 90. Still looking at 80 for Hibbing, 83 International Falls. So like I've mentioned a million times, it's warm, it's humid. This low pressure system coming through can convert all of that into showers and storms. Right now, though, again, it's just like on Lake Vermilion, still calm all around our region from the UP through Wisconsin into Minnesota, but lurking to our north and west. Folks on Lake Vermilion and Fraser Bay, yeah, watch out. There's that low pressure system. Its frontal boundaries starting to create showers and storms now in the Dakotas. And yeah, after midnight, they come to us perhaps just a little bit at a time. It's tomorrow afternoon and evening through early Sunday morning, like I mentioned, where it could be the heaviest. And north of Duluth, well, maybe a ½ inch to an inch of rain possible there. But for east central Minnesota, the head of the lakes, Wisconsin and Michigan, it could be 1 to even 2 inches. So the biggest threat from the severe weather tomorrow evening could be flash flooding rather than anything else. But we still have to watch out for hail, high winds, lightning, and even an isolated tornado. So a rough weekend here. There's the storm chance, 20% after midnight tonight in Minnesota, lows near 70, so it's going to stay warm. Lows near 70 in Wisconsin as well, with that 20% storm chance vaguely crossing borders there after midnight, but it builds into that 70% chance tomorrow afternoon. Wisconsin, Michigan highs 85 to 90, Minnesota highs 70s by the lake, 83 to 88 farther inland, 70% storm chance there as well. And then it wraps up Sunday morning, and we get to dry up and cool down a little bit after that, Anthony. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 75 to 80 with lower dew points. So the muggy, stormy weather of the weekend will become much more benevolent once we get into the work week. It doesn't seem fair, frankly, but that's the way it's going to roll.
That's the way it goes sometimes. Might be a good day to get the indoor projects done tomorrow instead of
most definitely.
The lawn.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tones.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Wisconsin is giving high school sports the green light for the fall season. Restrictions and guidance on fans and spectators is up to each individual school district and local health department guidelines. WCCO's Marielle Mose explains how they plan to pull off the return to sports.
Soon-to-be sophomores Jenna Simmons and Nicole Hawken are taking private tennis lessons to prep for the fall season that they hope to have at Hudson High School.
I want to get on the team this year, and I'm really excited about it.
They just learned that their efforts might actually pay off. Thursday morning, the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association Board voted 8-3 to allow high school fall sports to practice.
Tennis is a good sport because you're far away, you're not going to be near each other.
Hudson, Wisconsin is home to several state championships, but the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association says it's just going to be too difficult for any of the fall sports to have state championship tournaments this year.
What will probably happen is we'll keep it more to a district or a conference or a regional type of title.
Wade Lebecki is the deputy director of the WIAA. He said they voted to start practice for lower risk fall sports, including cross country, girls golf, girls swim, and girls tennis, to start August 17th. And practice for football, boys soccer, and volleyball can start September 7th.
It really condenses our sports because we're going to keep the same end dates. So instead of having 9 football games, they'll be down to 3 football games.
They also voted to allow districts to opt out of fall sports altogether and move them to the spring.
So we do allow our kids to participate in the state of Wisconsin in dual sports.
Lebecki says their vote was based less on competition and more on camaraderie. The student athletes agree. Being with their team again is all they want.
It's just really nice bonding experience.
It will be up to school districts and local health leaders to decide whether fans will be allowed at sporting events. The Minnesota State High School League has not made a decision on high school sports teams yet. The Superior National Forest is trying to lower the number of bears stealing food from campsites in the Boundary Waters. Forest officials are enacting a special rule that says you must store your food in a bear-resistant container. It applies to 5 different lakes, which are listed on your screen there. Forest officials say they've gotten a number of reports in the BWCA already this year. In one case, a bear stole a food pack from out of a tree and wouldn't leave when the campers tried scaring it off. In another, the bear got into a dry food bag and stuck around the camp for a while thereafter. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, move by the president to send federal troops to Wisconsin is receiving criticism. Details coming up.
CBS3 Live Cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. The TED event is happening now, where you're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Welcome back to gaming excitement in downtown Duluth. Fond Duluth Casino is currently open 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. daily with a large selection of slot games available to brighten your day. The entire gaming floor is currently non-smoking with social distancing and COVID-19 protocols in place. We want you to have fun, but also stay safe when you visit. Log on to FondDuluthCasino.com for the most up-to-date information during these ever-changing times. We're looking forward to seeing you smile under that face cover while you
have a great time out at Fond Duluth.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS3 Duluth.
Vehicle accidents are stressful enough. You don't need someone showing up at the scene trying to pressure you into letting them tow away your vehicle, often falsely claiming they were dispatched by the police or an insurance company. Be wary of any unsolicited tow truck that arrives on the scene of an accident. In fact, in some places, it's illegal. Motorists should not feel pressured to agree to a tow. Call your roadside assistance provider or insurance company for towing company suggestions, or consult with police on the scene. Always get the price and terms in writing along with the location of the tow yard before letting a tow truck driver hook up your vehicle and take it away. If you suspect fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. That's 1-800-TEL-NICB, or visit our website, www.nicb.org. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Dude, you gonna pick that up? Because there's no poop fairy to do that for you. See? Take these. They're not just poop bags. They're pride bags. Because you're doing the right thing for your neighbors and for the health of the whole watershed. Gotta fly. There's a Chihuahua cranking one out in Leicester right now. There is no poop fairy.
I want people to tune in, and I want them to see a friend, because I'm a mother and I know how hard it can be. You're doing all these things and then you have the child and then no one talks to you about how lonely it can be. You know, who do you lean to? Who do you connect with? This segment is very important to me because I get to work, but I also get to work on my passion.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Meteorologist Dave Anderson with this 2:40 in the morning update on the weather. And it's been a bit rough in Wisconsin.
Down, it gets super dark. Oh, that crazy light.
Have a severe thunderstorm warning.
For the coverage you need, tune to Live Local CBS3.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS3 Duluth.
President Trump announced plans yesterday to send federal agents to a number of U.S. cities, including Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The move is facing criticism after agents have been accused of using excessive force against protesters in Portland after things turned violent and destructive out there. The U.S. Attorney for Milwaukee stressed today the agents coming to the city will not be breaking up protesters or patrolling the streets. Instead, he says they'll be helping state and local law enforcement solve violent crimes. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers is against the plan, and Milwaukee's mayor says the agents are not welcome in the city. Meanwhile, the Minneapolis Police Department will no longer have its own media rep. The city council voted to shift police media duties from the department to the city. One of the people who wrote the plan called it a small move designed to improve trust. Others are concerned it will slow the release of timely and important information. The council voted 9-3 in favor of making the change. Coming up in sports, Twins and Brewers highlights from opening day. Those are coming up next.
Live Local CBS3.
This summer, get back in the driver's seat. Your Honda dealer is open and ready to get you into a new Honda today. Like the versatile HR-V or the fun-to-drive CR-V. Visit the Honda Summer Clearance Event and get a great deal from Honda, KBB.com's 2020 Best Value Brand. Get a great deal on the CRV at the Honda Summer Clearance Event today.
Every second of every day, it happens. Something big, something worth talking about. News happens, and you can't wait for it. You need to be constantly digging, asking, hunting, wanting more. More truth, more real answers. More who, what, where, when, and why. And it's about you. It's about now. It's about wherever, whenever. At Live Local CBS3, it's about the news. Your neighborhood news.
Bonjour and Dinaway Maganadog. Hello, all my relatives. I'm Dr. Arnie Bainio, and I live in Duluth, and I love Duluth and the surrounding communities. Keeping COVID-19 from spreading is going to depend on all of us. Washing our hands frequently, keeping social distance, staying home if you can, and wearing a face mask is important. We need to keep our elders and those most vulnerable safe. This is about respect. This is about love.
When news happens, CBS3 is there. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news.
Anytime, day or night, more cases of the coronavirus are popping up across the Northland.
The only confirmed cases in northeastern Minnesota.
Not go shopping today unless you absolutely must. Do not collect any supplies or equipment unless you absolutely need it today.
The Northland has seen its first coronavirus-related death.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, tune to CBS3.
When news happens, CBS3 is there. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news.
Anytime, day or night, more cases of the coronavirus are popping up across the Northland.
The only confirmed cases in northeastern Minnesota.
Not go shopping today unless you absolutely must. Do not collect any supplies or equipment unless you absolutely need it today.
The Northland has seen its first coronavirus-related death.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, tune to CBS3.
Duluth's downtown waterfront district is the heart of our community. So many of the things we love about Duluth can be found right here, from businesses to attractions. And now, most of them are open and working hard so you can safely enjoy them. Our local restaurants, breweries, shops, salons, and attractions help weave the unique fabric of our community. They make us stand out. And when you support them, your dollars stay in our community, helping to boost our economy. Show your love for Duluth's local businesses. We can't wait to see you.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
10 months. That is how long it's been since we've seen the Minnesota Twins take the field for a real live competitive baseball game that didn't begin with the words spring training. It's been a long 10 months, and even longer 4 months since opening day was originally put on hold because of COVID-19 for the 2020 season. That drought, those baseball-less days, are over, friends. The Twins took the field in Chicago for opening day against the Chicago White Sox. And I've got 2 words for you, Max Kepler. That is a first pitch, first at-bat solo home run for Kep right there. That puts the Twins up 1-0 in the top of the first. He later add on to that with a second home run in his second at-bat, becoming the first Twins player to hit 2 home runs in his first 2 at-bats on opening day. Twins add with a Jake Cave single to center that brings in a pair of runs to make it 4-0 early. Unfortunately, Jose Barrios wasn't exactly throwing heaters on the bump as the opening day starter gives up a Yohan Moncada homer to right center. That would even things out at 5, but pitching managed to hold things down since last check. Twins lead 10-5 in the 9th. And one of the strangest sights of the day, an empty Wrigley Field, despite the fans on the rooftops across the street. Brewers taking on the Cubs. Kyle Hendricks brought his stuff tonight for the home team. Orlando Arcia was the only Brewer to figure him out. A soft single in the 3rd. Check out Anthony Rizzo with a supply of hand sanitizer at first base. Very 2020 of him. Bottom half of the inning, the Cubs break through. Ian Happ takes Brandon Woodruff deep to right. It's 2-0. Chicago. Then a special moment in the 8th. JP Beirezin making his major league debut. It was a special one. He's just the 10th Wisconsin native to suit up for the Brew Crew, and the first since 2008. Starts out with a nice strikeout of Chris Bryant. The next at bat, not so nice though. Anthony Rizzo turns one on. and it's not coming back. It's 3-0 Cubs, and that's how it stays. Cubbies top the Brewers 3-0 the final. Vikings coaching news. Head coach Mike Zimmer is sticking around for a few more seasons. The team announced they have signed the coach to a 3-year extension that would keep him in Minnesota until 2023. Zimmer will enter a season of unknown due to the COVID-19 pandemic in his 7th season at the helm. In his time, Zim is a 57-38-1 overall record with 2 NFC North championships. Second round of the PGA's 3M Open got underway today in Blaine. Round 1 leader Richie Orensky was out early and stayed hot, shooting a 5-under 66 on the 11 today from 31 feet. He drains the birdie, ends his round at 12 under with a share of the lead. With Michael Thompson, who was in second yesterday after a 64, he backed that up with a 66 today. He would turn in a shot of the day. Contender with this nearly impossible chip-in birdie at 14. He and Orensky are tied for the lead at 12 under. The third round continues tomorrow on the Golf Channel. And former Saints quarterback Zach Edwards has put pen to paper on a professional deal to play football overseas in Spain. Edwards becomes the first Saints Scholastica football player to sign a pro contract. The St. Paul, Minnesota native capped his CSS career with 3 straight Upper Midwest Athletic Conference first-team honors. This past season, he led the conference in passing yards, passing touchdowns, completions per game, and total offense per game. He is also ranked in the top 10 in NCAA Division III in each of those categories. That's going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
You are not alone. Our whole community is pulling together, from your healthcare team to your first responders to your police force, to keep our community healthy and safe. If you can, please stay home during this time. This will slow the spread of the virus and can help save lives. By staying apart, we keep our community together. For the latest on COVID-19, please visit the CDC and Minnesota Department of Health websites. We're ready.
We're united.
We're here.
Things are slowly starting to get back to normal. But our fight against COVID-19 isn't over yet. St. Luke's and Essentia Health are asking for your help. Whenever you will be around others who do not live with you, please wear a mask. This will help to protect everyone in our community. Masking continues to be one of the best defenses against the virus. Masks make a difference. On behalf of Essentia Health and St. Luke's, thank you.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host. That's a standing ovation. Yeah. And the stars love it too.
You're so good.
America's Sweetheart is a hit and everything we love.
Oh my God!
This is why we connect. Hey. You say y'all, I say y'all.
That's how you say it. Right. You're wrong.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on Live Local CBS3. Every second of every day, it happens. Something big, something worth talking about. News happens, and you can't wait for it. You need to be constantly digging, asking, hunting, wanting more. More truth, more real answers. More who, what, where, when, and why. And it's about you. It's about now. It's about wherever, whenever. At Live Local CBS3, it's about the news. Your neighborhood news.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Bakke, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining. A fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Bakke. Tuesdays at 10 only on Live Local CBS3. Brought to you by Iron Mining Association. Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Mainstream is your wedding headquarters. Downtown Duluth.
All right, Dave, pretty nice way to end the week, but that's not going to last into the weekend, huh?
No, it probably isn't. The low-pressure system we've been talking about for days is right on our doorstep, should cross the threshold after midnight, starting with just a 20% chance of overnight rain, but building up to a 70% shot by the heat of the day and the heart of the afternoon come tomorrow in through the evening, perhaps into Sunday morning. Could be an inch or so of rain for many towns, and there could be some decent thunderstorms rumbling as well. But by Sunday afternoon, they fade away, and then high pressure takes over for a slew of days. Should be sunny, cooler, and less humid through Thursday.
Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.